The world of Euphoria is a swirling storm of teenage anxiety, addiction, and the desperate search for identity. Amidst the glitter and the gloom, one of the most quietly tragic figures is Ashtray, a child living an adult's life of violence and vigilance. To understand Ashtray is to look at the psychology of a child soldier, a young boy whose entire existence has been shaped by and devoted to the protection of a single person and their shared business, the drug operation run by his older brother. Fezco. He is not just a kid helping out, he is a vital, hardened component of a dangerous machine, and his story is a heartbreaking study in lost childhood and forged loyalty. First, we must consider Ashtray's environment, which is his entire world. He has no school, no playgrounds, no birthday parties. His home is Fezco's apartment, which also functions as a drug storefront. From his earliest memories, the rhythms of this life have been normal. The doorbell ringing at all hours, the handling of money and product. The constant underlying threat of violence or police, these are his daily realities. For most children, their environment provides structure and safety. For Ashtray, his environment provides a different structure, a code of conduct based on survival, suspicion, and silence. He learns to observe strangers with a cold, assessing gaze. He understands the value of money and the hierarchy of the streets before he learns algebra. This is the foundational training of any soldier, the normalization of a high-stakes, dangerous reality. His relationship with Fezco is the core of his psychology. Fez is not just his brother, he is his guardian, his commander, and the only source of love and stability he has ever known. Fezco took him in, and in Ashtray's mind, that debt is paid with unwavering service and protection. This loyalty is absolute and fierce. We see this in small moments and large ones. He is Fezco's lookout, his enforcer, his backup. He watches Fez's interactions with customers like a tiny bodyguard, always ready to intervene. This dynamic twists the typical brotherly bond into something more intense. Ashtray's purpose in life becomes clear: ensure the business runs smoothly so that he and Fez are safe and provided for. The business is their livelihood, their family legacy, and their fortress all in one. Protecting it is synonymous with protecting his brother, and by extension, himself. This is where the child soldier mentality becomes most apparent. Child soldiers in conflict zones are often indoctrinated with a powerful sense of purpose and belonging to a cause or a commander. They are given responsibility and a sense of power that is intoxicating and binding. Ashtray is no different. Fezco, likely without even meaning to, has given him a role, a station, and a set of rules to live by. In a world that offers him no other identity, Fez's protector and guardian of the business becomes who he is. This grants him a terrifying confidence. He handles guns with a chilling familiarity. He negotiates with older, intimidating figures like Mouse without a trace of fear. He is competent because he has been conditioned to be. The business and its dangers are his entire curriculum, and he has graduated at the top of his class. His violence is particularly telling. It is not the chaotic, emotional outburst of an angry child. It is calculated, efficient, and service-oriented. When he attacks Nate Jacobs with a hoverboard, it is to defend Fez. When he ultimately kills Mouse, it is a strategic decision to eliminate a direct threat to their operation and to protect Fez from a lethal death. In his final, tragic stand against the police, he is not throwing a tantrum, he is mounting a defense of his home and his brother. He sets traps, arms himself with multiple weapons, and engages in a tactical shootout. These are the actions of a soldier defending his post, not a child scared of being grounded. The line between right and wrong, in a legal or moral sense, has been completely erased for him. The only morality is the survival of the business and the safety of Fez. Everyone else is a potential enemy. Perhaps the most poignant evidence of his psychological state is what is missing: his childhood. We rarely see him play, joke, or engage in any frivolous activity. His moments of lightness are almost exclusively with Fez, and even then, they are tinged with this shared understanding of their hard reality. He doesn't fantasize about being a superhero or a firefighter. His reality is already one of high stakes and life or death stakes. His toys are guns and surveillance monitors. His games are scenario planning for potential raids. His childhood has been hollowed out and replaced with the grim necessities of his role. This loss is invisible to him because he never knew anything else, but it screams out to the viewer in every scene he's in. Fezco, for his part, is tragically aware of this loss. He constantly tries to pull Ashtray back toward childhood. He scolds him for being too violent, tries to keep him away from the darkest aspects of the business, and insists he should be in school. Fez wants a different life for him, but he is trapped himself. The business is how he provides, and Ashtray is both his dependent and his most loyal employee. It's a terrible cycle. Fez's love is genuine, but the environment he has provided, the only one he knows how to provide, is what forged Ashtray into this miniature warrior. Their conversations about going straight highlight the gap between them. Fez can still imagine a future outside these walls, but for Ashtray, those walls are the entire map of the world. In the end, Ashtray's fate is the inevitable conclusion of his psychological conditioning. Faced with an overwhelming threat, the police raid. His programming takes over. Retreat is not an option. Negotiation is not in his vocabulary. Surrender would mean the collapse of his world, the business seized, Fez imprisoned. So he fights, with a bravery and desperation that is devastating to watch. He fights until there is no other outcome possible. His death is not just the death of a child, it is the death of a child soldier, a life that was never allowed to be just a life. To talk about Ashtray's role in Fez's business, then, is to talk about more than just a kid selling drugs. It is to examine how love, in a context of poverty and survival, can morph into a binding, militaristic loyalty. It is to see how a child's mind, when shaped entirely by a single, dangerous purpose, can adapt to a point of no return. He wasn't just helping his brother. He was the chief of security, the loyal lieutenant, and the final line of defense for the only world he knew. His story within the glittering, gritty universe of Euphoria is a stark, modern parable about the cost of a childhood lost to war, even if that war is waged on the quiet. Desperate streets of suburbia, and the army is just two brothers trying to make it through another day.